Hello, friends.
Hello.
Thank you guys for. I don't know why I'm starting like that. I don't know. Hey guys, what's up? Just a regular old Saturday here. We're recording.
We're doing.
I swear, every single time we push the play button here,
Yeah.
the record button, I just aged myself. The play button. It's like I get like I don't know how to start this. And how many episodes? This episode 71. We've done this 71 times, probably more.
More because of Patreon.
Because of Patreon, yeah.
Yeah. So we just did a Patreon and it was 58. So 71 plus
58 Patreon episodes, 71 of our podcast episodes. You'd think we would know how to start this. And it's not that we don't know how to start, it's just that we like press the record button. We're like, all right,
Sure.
so
Hi.
all right. Anyways, hello, friends.
Hi.
Welcome back.
I think it also happens because we're into batch episodes.
Yeah.
Like batch recordings, better said.
Yeah.
So this is our like third one of like just this morning.
You know what I never noticed is that we don't ever introduce ourselves. Like for people that are
Oh yeah.
like new.
Right. Guys, do you want us to do that?
I know. Maybe that's something that we could do like at the beginning when
Yeah.
we're recording. We need to record.
We need to really do that. Yeah, it's been a while now. It's a year and a half old now.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we could just be like your hosts.
Yeah,
Jules Wavy.
Right. Well, a lot of people do like the little jingle.
Yeah.
Like, hi, this is Fulana, and then hi, this is
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And we do not do that.
We don't do any of that. We're just
Yeah.
like, this is a podcast.
Just think that everyone here knows us. So,
Exactly. I know we kind of bank on that, but
all right. Well,
I'm Julie.
I'm Evie. Welcome.
This is Funny Medicine.
Yeah. Join us.
That is really awkward, but okay,
Yeah.
we'll shop that.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try to figure something out. I just noticed that.
I know.
Okay.
I had thought of that like a while ago, but I'm like, I don't know. It feels so awkward, but we should
Well, I mean,
maybe.
this isn't like a news team that we're like, hey, is back in college. This is Julia Hernandez, and we are the hosts of Funny Medicine. That sounded great.
Why do you even prefer Hernandez? It's Burnett.
You didn't ever change your name?
No.
Your last name? Okay, well,
I
this
thought
is
you
Julia
knew
Burnett.
this.
No, but you have something on Hernandez.
No.
I could have sworn that you were Hernandez.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This whole time?
This whole time I thought you were Hernandez.
So funny. I mean, whatever. I mean, we've been married for 10 years now, so like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Whatever.
makes no
It doesn't
difference.
matter. Yeah. Julia Burnett. I
Whatever.
have you like as Burnett. Like,
Yeah. That's so funny.
I thought that you were Hernandez.
God, maybe we really should be introducing ourselves. Because
whole
we
time.
don't even know each other's
this
name
whole
right
entire
now.
time. I promise you, if anyone has ever asked me, I'm like, yeah, her name is Julie Hernandez. For
That's
sure.
so funny.
I thought that you used Burnett like for Facebook and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like, so like
Right.
people
Yeah.
knew you as Brunette.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I never changed it.
Ha, interesting. Okay. All right. Well,
Okay, we'll definitely shop it then.
yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll figure something out that won't sound as awkward. Anyways, okay, so what are we talking about today?
We're talking today about locked-in syndrome, and we decided, I mean, this became viral in our Threads account. Thank you, Threaders out there. You guys are amazing. We love you guys so much. And I had posted like this like tidbit about it, about what it is and whatnot, and about like a pretty famous case on it, which we will talk about it towards the end of the episode. And on Threads, you guys loved it. You guys were so interested on it. So I'm like, you know what? Let's save it for October. We're going to do a full-on episode on just locked-in syndrome. And here it is because you guys wanted it.
Yeah.
And it's creepy. So that's why we wanted to leave it for October too, because it is weird.
Such a big fear of mine.
It's really...
fear.
So if you guys have seen the movie Nope, this is it.
I have not seen it.
You got to watch it.
Okay.
It's really good. It's not like, okay, it's a thriller. It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but it's not like, you know, your monsters, your war. No, it's just, it's this.
It's gonna warp my mind.
It's so it's a really good movie. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then that's essentially locked-in syndrome. And if you haven't watched it, maybe you should if you're interested in this because it's super cool. But anyways,
Let's go into a little bit, dive into the definition of it.
go ahead, Doug.
So, locked-in syndrome, it's a rare neurological condition where a person is fully conscious but unable to move or communicate verbally due to complete paralysis of nearly all voluntary muscles in the body, except for those controlling eye movement. Okay.
So like sleep paralysis,
Exactly.
which we just
Which we
did
just did an episode on lucid dreaming.
on Lucid Dreaming on Patreon. Check us out on patreon.com/Funny Medicine Podcast.
Yes. Exclusive episodes there.
Yep.
Sometimes we drop little bonus episodes in.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, there's 58 of them, guys.
Yeah. And they're really good.
Yeah, they're really good topics.
episodes. Yeah. All right. So despite being fully aware of their surroundings, people with locked-in syndrome, the patients are locked in their own body, unable to express themselves or respond to external stimuli in the usual way. So here's an easy to understand breakdown of the condition. So what is it exactly? Again, locked-in syndrome occurs when you have some sort of damage to a specific part in your brainstem, usually called the pons, which controls basic motor functions. And again, guys, this is voluntary muscles, right? Not your involuntary muscles. So there are muscles that move without your control, right? And then muscles that move with your control, like us moving our hands, right? So the brain itself stays unaffected, meaning cognitive functions, memory, and awareness remains fully intact. But people with locked-in syndrome can typically still move their eyes or eyelids, which allows them to communicate through blinking or eye movements. Oh, just so, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. All right. So Jules is going to walk us through a little bit of the history of it.
Yeah. So the first detailed description of locked-in syndrome came from French neurologist Jean-Baptiste Charcot. I think I said it right. Hopefully, don't crucify me. Anyway, in the late 19th century, the condition gained widespread attention in the 20th century, particularly with the publication of The Diving Bell and the Butterfly in 1997, written by Jean-Dominique Bauby, I think. We're a little punchy today, which is great. Like these episodes are going to be right up your alley for all of you lovely listeners out there and watchers, whatever it is. Anyway, so whoever developed locked-in, whoever. Oh my God.
Put down the Celsius, Julie. Put down the Celsius. Guys, she's had a coffee and she's Did you finish that shit already?
Almost.
She finished it. I cannot.
There's like one sip.
It's been 2 hours and you had a coffee and a full Celsius.
I needed to get rid of this migraine that was crawling its ugly ass head into my right
eyeball.
Yes.
Okay.
I felt its ugly head like climbing into it. I'm like, 3 Advils and a shit ton of caffeine right now. You are not gonna fuck me up.
Wrapping you in. Continue.
Okay. All right.
Booby. Booby. The guy's name is Booby.
Booby or Bobby?
Bobby, Booby.
Anyway, that guy who developed locked-in syndrome after a massive stroke. Oosh. Bobby? Is it Bauby? However it is.
All right, Bobby.
Anyway, wrote the book by blinking to dictate letters as he could only move one eyelid.
A book. Okay.
With one eyelid.
I can't. Oh my God. Do you have soreness of the eyes after that? Is that a thing? I mean, it is, right? It's a muscle.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I mean, my whole eye has been hurting this morning, and just thinking about that, it's like, oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, so that's a little bit of the history on it. Like I found that fascinating.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna jump into the medical part of it and like how it happens. So this syndrome typically happens, again, like how I said, you have an injury to the pons area of the brainstem. So the pons is responsible for relaying signals between the brain, the spinal cord, and basically controls the movements. Damage to the area disrupts these signals, but higher brain functions like thinking, consciousness, that remains pretty much unaffected. The common cause includes a stroke like Mr. Bobby, often from a block in one of the arteries supplying the brainstem. You can have trauma, obviously. Severe head injuries can result in this. You can have diseases, conditions like ALS that can cause progressive paralysis resembling locked-in syndrome. You can have infections, tumors that press on the brainstem. Medications or toxins in rare cases, overdoses or toxic substances can lead to this condition. For us in the medical world, also correcting electrolytes too quickly.
Oh, really?
Can actually cause like swelling and yeah. So,
wow. Okay.
anyways, so a lot of things can cause that. And then symptoms of locked-in syndrome is going to be pretty much total paralysis, except for the eyes. Despite this, patients are pretty much fully aware, they're conscious, they're capable of thinking and feeling, and unable to physically respond. Paralysis itself, except for the eye movements, the person cannot move voluntary muscles. So you cannot move. Okay. Even if you try. Yeah.
I mean, hence the book with one eyelid.
Yeah. You can't talk, right? Your speech is out too. So you can't speak. You maybe can communicate like this person blinking or some eye movements. You do have preserved cognition. So you are fully aware of what is happening to you,
Completely
right?
aware, yeah.
So patients are fully aware of their surroundings, emotions, and their thoughts, right? And you can even have some difficulty doing other things like breathing, swallowing. Many require a lot of mechanical ventilation or feeding tubes to kind of do this process.
I mean, it's all muscular at the point.
So terrible.
So the diagnosis for this. So locked-in syndrome can be difficult to diagnose because the patient can't speak or move, and it may appear as if they're in a coma. Neurologists use brain imaging, such as MRIs or CT scans and other tests to look for brainstem damage and assess brain activity. Eye movement on responses also help in diagnosis, as patients often retain that ability to move their eyes, as we were just saying.
So is there a cure? Currently, there is no cure for locked-in syndrome. Obviously, that all depends on how it developed. Treatment focuses on supportive care to keep the person it's not uncomfortable, to keep the person comfortable and manage their symptoms. So communication assistance, tools like alphabet boards, eye tracking devices, computerized systems allow patients to communicate using eye movements. You can have physical therapy. While regaining movement is rare, therapy can actually help with managing complications like muscle stiffness. And remember, you can still feel a lot of pain, right? You're feeling these things. You just cannot move, right? Then you have mechanical ventilation. This is what we had kind of discussed that helps you breathe, right? There are some voluntary and involuntary muscles with breathing, right?
Yeah.
But you do need the help of a machine to be able to breathe and ventilate, right? So emotional support is also a big thing. Patients need psychological and emotional support, as their condition can lead to depression and anxiety.
And that comes without saying.
It. Yeah, I don't even know how.
Yeah.
I hope I knock on wood. Where's the I don't know.
It's right here.
It's on my neck. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Cannot imagine myself, and I don't ever want to be in that situation.
I don't ever want to even know.
Fathom the idea.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. It's horrible. So is recovery possible? Since there's no cure, but can you recover from it? It's incredibly rare. Some patients regain limited movement in certain parts of their body over time, but complete recovery from locked-in syndrome is almost unheard of. But almost, because we will get into that. However, with the right support and communication tools, some people with locked-in syndrome lead meaningful lives, like Mr. Bobby that wrote a whole ass book. I mean, that's merit.
Yeah.
So prevention, right? Preventing locked-in syndrome mainly revolves around reducing the risk of the underlying causes, right? So managing your stroke risk, maintaining healthy blood pressure, managing diabetes, and reducing cholesterol can lower that risk. Wear helmets. So reducing risk of brain injury through proper head protection can prevent trauma-induced locked-in syndrome. And then avoid toxic substances, so limiting exposure to dangerous drugs or toxins that could harm the nervous system also will help. There's also this other thing that, because I'm like, what is the difference with coma, locked-in syndrome, and vegetative states, right? I could understand how you could kind of put those together. So there's misdiagnosis of locked-in syndrome as a persistent vegetative state, or PVS, that can occur due to similarities in outward appearance. So both conditions involve a severe loss of motor function, making it difficult for medical professionals and families to distinguish between the two without thorough assessments. However, the internal experience and the awareness of the patients differ significantly, which can have profound emotional consequences for both the patient and their loved ones.
And there's so much blending, right? Because we just covered about the new studies saying that people in comas, they're measuring their brain waves, and they're actually more responsive than what we think,
and more aware than what we think.
aware of what we think. Exactly. So it's all blending together.
It is. Yeah. The more we're studying this, the more we're realizing there might be more awareness in there.
Oh, so scary.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit of the differences between these that Julie just mentioned.
Yeah.
Individuals with locked-in syndrome are fully conscious, right? And aware. Everything. You are completely awake, right?
Your surroundings, everything. It's just like how we are right now, but inside.
Yeah. And the only thing is that you can't move, right? The only things that you can do is move your eyes, like we were kind of talking about. cognitively, again, you remain completely intact. You feel emotions, you process sensory information. So pain, burning, anything, and a cold, to prickling, everything. Pervasive vegetative state, it's a loss of cognitive function. So you cannot do that. That awareness, you are not there, along with voluntary movements, right? So although you have all the basic reflexes and you can open your eyes, they do not have the conscious awareness and the ability to respond to stimuli in a purposeful way. So purposeful just means like, you're actually controlling that movement. There's a purpose to your movement, not just like some random movement that your brain just decided to do.
Right.
And PVS can occur like widespread brain damage, right? And then particularly in the areas related to consciousness. So unlike locked-in syndrome, where the brainstem is the one that is primarily affected, PVS can be in other places in the brain. Okay, now control your cognitive thinking and your function in general.
Exactly. So how does this misdiagnosis happen, right? One, because there's limited physical response to test the patient. The lack of voluntary movement in both conditions makes it difficult for doctors to distinguish between locked-in syndrome and PVS based on physical examination alone, right? From appearance. Patients with locked-in syndrome may be assumed to be unconscious if their ability to communicate through eye movements is overlooked. And that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Secondly, incomplete neurological assessment. It could definitely happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If a detailed neurological evaluation, including imaging like MRIs or CT scans, isn't conducted, or if eye movements aren't properly assessed, medical teams might misinterpret a patient's condition. So basic reflexes or involuntary movements might further confuse the diagnosis. Third, communication barriers, right? Locked-in syndrome patients often retain the ability to move their eyes or blink, but these movements can be subtle or inconsistent. So it's not like us that we're like,
Yeah.
no,
exactly.
it might be very, very slow, limited, or inconsistent, right? So they may not be able to do it right when they need to, particularly in the early stages of recovery. If medical staff do not test for these movements, they might assume that the person is in a vegetative state. And then fourth, inadequate testing, right? So specialized assessments like functional MRIs or electrocephalograms can detect consciousness by observing brain activity in response to stimuli, but they may not be routinely performed in every hospital, especially if resources are limited or if the condition is not initially suspected. So it does happen, guys. It can happen, and that's why you gotta be alert to these things. It's so
Okay. All right. So now a little bit of the emotional toll on it. So for patients with locked-in syndrome, I mean,
it goes without saying.
it goes without saying, right?
Oh my God. It's a horror situation.
Yeah, and just like talking about this, like, is so it gives me anxiety.
Right.
But like,
I feel like I gotta take deeper breaths.
Yeah.
For some reason.
yeah, they can feel helpless. They are aware of their surroundings, but you cannot respond to anything. It's if I'm just talking, like in my brain, I'm like trying to talk to you and I'm trying to tell you something that is bothering me or just whatever. I just want to talk to you and you can't.
Pain.
Yeah, pain. Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't move to alleviate the pain, and you can't tell somebody that you're in pain. There's
Exactly.
nothing.
There's nothing. And then like fear and anxiety, right? It's so like if you think I can imagine my brain just like going on what happens if this happens to me and I can't tell them, or what happens if I just tell them like I don't want to fucking eat that, or I'm hungry, or is that, I don't know. It's just so
Yeah. There's nothing, and you're completely helpless.
and you were able to do it before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the helpless of it all. Like you are incapable of doing anything on your own anymore,
Exactly.
and you're living. You're completely normal and functioning in your brain only.
Yeah.
Everything else is not responding.
Yeah.
It's like the
Or
sleep
like if
paralysis
someone
is
like
so-
takes you to go do something and you're like, I don't have any want to go to do anything today. But there you are, just being strolled along. I can't. Yeah.
Whew.
Like what Jules is saying, just to pain. So a lot of these patients, they feel discomfort, pain, and
How could you not? Yeah.
and they can't even communicate that. And then loneliness because you're not able to engage in conversations or express yourself or have an opinion about something or be heard or anything like that.
Nothing.
So you just feel trapped, right?
You're
You're
locked
trapped
in.
in your own body and there's no way to reach out for help or ask for help.
Something as simple as like, I mean, how many times do you move in bed like
Yeah.
you're sleeping?
Exactly.
Can't even do that.
You can't do that. Yeah. Like if you're tired of just laying on your back,
Right.
you just want to, I don't know, lay on your belly. But then you have the anxiety of like, well, I don't want to turn on my belly because what happens if I want to go back to my back? Like, when's the next time that they're going to move me back to my back? You know, like I'm just going down like a rabbit hole.
You even think it's going down a spiral.
Yeah, I'm going down a spiral. And then for the families too.
exactly.
So then it's like the emotional side of the families. It's the grief and the guilt that you're probably there and you're trying to be the best that you are, but then you're always going to feel like, oh, I'm not enough, right? What happens?
not understanding.
I'm not understanding anything. And you know,
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Thankfully, if like the families are able to like communicate with them because of the eye blinking.
Yeah.
But it's like what we had mentioned before. Sometimes this eye blinking isn't just, oh yeah, they have full function of their blinking,
And
right?
it comes
It's
and it
like
goes
delayed and it
sometimes.
comes and it goes. I can't.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna feel frustrated. They're gonna feel helpless as well. And imagine it's like if you lost that person, but they're there. They're still there, but you lost them, right? So it's that emotional stress about it too. It's just like a roller coaster.
That's all. Yeah.
Like you have good days and you have bad days, and
It's horrific.
I would feel guilty too.
Yeah.
Like I would feel guilty that I can do these things and you cannot.
Exactly.
Oh man.
That was the very first thing that you had mentioned, the grief and the guilt. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
because you're grieving over the fact that that person that you're tending to is no longer
Yeah.
the
But you
same.
just know that it doesn't matter what you do, it's never gonna be enough. Right. Ugh.
Yeah. It's
It's
horrible.
supposed to be funny medicine.
I know.
Not.
Not right now.
Not right now.
No, and we
Not what
just
we're
took
doing right now.
a very dark spiral down.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, we're gonna talk about this famous case.
Yeah. So the case that became like pretty viral on Threads. This is what I had posted. So it's a case example of Martin Pistorious. I think that's how you say the last name. Pistorious is one of the most famous examples of a person with locked-in syndrome being misdiagnosed as being in a vegetative state. So after developing locked-in syndrome following a mysterious illness, Martin was initially diagnosed as being in a vegetative
VGT.
my God, what the hell was that? Diagnosed as being in a vegetative state for nearly 12 years. He was fully conscious, but unable to communicate. And his doctors and family believed he had no awareness. He recounts overhearing his mother saying that she hoped he would die.
Oh, then that family guilt.
Exactly. Because you're like, how is this better? Like
Yeah.
not realizing that he could hear and understand everything. This kind of misdiagnosis led to years of isolation and emotional trauma for Martin, even though his family loved him deeply and was doing their very best, and given all the medical information they had at the time. When his ability to communicate was discovered, it was a life-changing moment for both him and his family. I cannot even fathom that moment. So then Martin later went on to write a memoir called Ghost Boy, detailing his journey and experiences. His story has become a powerful reminder of the importance of thorough testing and consideration in diagnosing patients with severe neurological injuries.
Yeah. And I can't imagine these patients like back then when you didn't have these like that.
Yeah.
Seeing the brain waves. Are they active? Are they not? MRIs, what's going on?
They just automatically were just like,
thought that you weren't there
that's
anymore.
it. Yeah. Just vegetative, and that there was no communication.
Yeah. But now we have medical advancements, we have neuroimaging, we have communication technology of these things that literally scan your eyes to see if you're like blinking and what you're actually trying to say.
Exactly.
It's like Morse code with your eyes.
100%.
So today, tools like eye tracking devices, brain computer interfaces, functional MRIs allow doctors, medical providers to better assess consciousness and communication capabilities in patients that have severe paralysis. And then families and caregivers can also play an important role in advocating for additional testing to make sure, right? Like, I'm gonna be a terrible, I don't even want to think that I'm ever in that situation. But also support for families.
So important. It's so important because you need to talk this through. And if you could find somebody else that's in a similar situation to you, it just helps because then you guys could talk to each other, vent, or even give each other advice. Yeah. And like maybe something worked for that person that might work for you.
Yeah.
You never know. And it's such a niche situation that if you could find that support, I think it's invaluable. You could do support groups, or you could advocate for better testing, all those things. So yeah, this was locked in syndrome. And that's why we decided to name it for October, because it's just
Our creepy season.
horrific.
Yeah.
And then definitely watch that movie, and you'll see it like in a very cinematographical way.
No. I knew exactly what you said. I just don't know what you said.
Me neither. Me neither. I hope you guys got the gist of what I was trying to say. So yeah.
Anyway, that was our talk on locked-in syndrome.
Yeah.
Super creepy, super scary. I don't ever want to deal with that.
No. But you
Sorry
guys wanted to
everyone
hear
that
it.
is. Yeah.
And
But-
we delivered.
Yeah. I hope you guys got a better understanding of what that is.
Absolutely.
You never know.
And
Maybe this might give other people some more information that
I
they
know.
needed. So
I know. Honestly, you never know. That's one of the beauties of doing this.
Yeah.
We're just giving you guys information, and you guys wanted this one, so here you have it. And if you guys have any other topic, let us know. We love it. Comment it, email it, whatever it is.
Joe's and I literally have an ongoing list of things.
Yes. And then your suggestions go to the very
Till
top.
the very top. Yeah.
And I even move around like topics because I got like a suggestion or various suggestions. Sometimes even follow us I've said on Instagram and on Threads and all that. Sometimes I put polls if like we're kind of in between two topics, and then we just go with whatever you guys suggest. And yeah, check out our Patreon, check out our merch. It's all going to be linked wherever you're watching or listening to this. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really hope you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Bye.